Hi, Blastpop here. Today I am taking a look at Federation Empire by Amarillo Design Bureau, designed by Stephen Cole. This was originally, in its earlier versions, a Task Force Games product. Um, so what I've done is, for the sake of expediency, I've opened up the box and then we'll show you the components. Here's the information on the back of the box. And one thing that may be wrong is it mentions a battle board, and I didn't see a battle board. I also went on to Board Game Geek and I didn't see any indication that there is a battle board, unless it's within the charts or components. As you can see from the back of the box, you see a reprint of what the map looks like, and not exactly state of the art, but certainly serviceable. Includes a boatload of counters, a two-piece map, an 80-page rule book and scenario book, which I think is actually more, and a few other components that I'll show you later. Here's the side of the box. Counter. Well, first off, we have a couple D6 included. We have a duplicate counter sheet printed twice to give what you needed for the various factions. Fairly basic silhouette style counters. And there's the back of them. They're the thin white core, which I tend to prefer because they're easy to handle and they're neat. Now we have this counter sheet, which we have not only that copy of it, but we have a total of 3 identical included to get you to where you need with the various forces. Federation, Orion, Klingon, Kzinti, Gorn, among the various other Starfleet battle series, Space Empires. And this is, again, based off of the Star Trek universe, which, if you don't already know that. Back of those counters. And then, the next counter sheet, we have even more forces. And there's 3 sets of the same one in my box. And there's the back. Finally, an old counter sheet, which is interesting, that is listed as sheets E and F, the various markers. It's the brown core, so it's from an earlier version of the game. Nothing on the back. But if you remember from one of the half counter sheets, it mentions F&E bases counter sheet, which is E and F here. So these must be additional counters, and that are not just system counters on the original older brown core counter sheet. Additionally, from 1993, you have a player folio which There's basically all the charts, sequence of play on a newsprint format paper. I did notice on the Amarillo Design Bureau website you can download most or all of these or various versions and iterations or spreadsheets for those players who need additional copies or would like a better looking quality charts and forms. You have a chart book for Federation and Empire 2000 that apparently hasn't changed. The version that I have of Federation and Empire, although it doesn't say it on the box, is the 2010 edition, which is the latest iteration. So over the years, they've reprinted items that needed reprinting and maintained and used existing items that are not in any way obsolete. So this chart book included is more forms, fleet charts, more forms, copies of the map, more fleet charts, and the fleet charts are available online to be utilized that have more information and are a little more handy and redesigned by people who are enthusiasts for this game. And as far as the actual manual is concerned, we have an ASL style rules book, for lack of a better way of putting it. It is truly a manual, and you've got a voluminous tome, and it not only includes the rules, but it also includes scenarios, all kinds of special rules, presumably optional rules, places for your notes. Here's your scenarios on page 109, and it goes on and on with scenarios. Fast play introductory scenario, I think that sounds like a good plan for me. Now fast play may be relative. Balance options, limited wars. It's as much as a game as it is a design manual to come up with your own scenarios and battles and whatever interests that you want to iterate on. Also, there's at least a half a dozen different expansions that are available separately for the series, which includes fighters, advanced operations, and I believe an ISC war scenario book. So beyond that, you actually have the map. It comes in two pieces. And it connects into one longish, oversized map, probably about close to 4 feet wide. Federation, if you remember Star Trek, that's where they're located in the world or the universe. You have the Kazinti, which are up here, which are basically a version of a cat, if I'm not mistaken. Klingon Empire, the enemies we all love and hate. Hydron, Lyran, Tholian Web, if you recall. The Romulans, the Gorns, the ISC, the Interstellar Concordiate. And I find it interesting that looking at the Gorn section of the map up here, they have the Gorn Trusteeship Zone. probably those folks there probably didn't have much choice as whether or not their trust is being handed over to the Gorns, to put it nicely. So the commentary on the map, it's very functional, very clean. You know where everything is and you can see everything. It was done back in 1993, if I remember. There's a copyright up here, 1993, by the Amarillo Design Bureau. And so the map has been around for 25 years. Again, while it's functional, it's not state-of-the-art. It doesn't have any real artistic flair. It's done by a graphic artist as opposed to somebody with more of an artistic design. And I'm not really faulting for it, but it's worthy of note. It's probably one of the next areas that, if they were interested in upgrading the components, this would be a nice upgrade. Now, I do know that there's also, I believe, a map that's bigger than this, it's oversized, that's available, but basically the same graphics. And I also believe the rules book is available in a large print edition. And one thing I meant to note is you have binder holes on the rules book, so you can bind it up and able to organize your book as you want, or to combine, presumably, the additional expansions into some form of a continuous larger tome, a la Advanced Squad Leader. And so this game has been around in one version or another since, I believe, 1986. So we're going on 32 years. And I have acquired this through a winning on the Wargamer Pay It Forward. And a kind individual donated it for the 2018 Christmas season. And I was fortunate enough to win it because I've been looking forward to getting a copy of this at some point. So it was wonderful. So I also figured I'd give back and say thank you. And by doing a brief component overview, and maybe something you might be interested in. Anyway, if you like this video, please like it, comment, subscribe. This has been Blastpop. Bye.